and thanks for being here. Over to you.
Hello, everybody. It's nice to be here. So we're talking to you today about money management. A little bit background about myself. I'm a finance person, studied accounting. I've always worked as a finance person in accounting with NGOs. Okay, so money. In Nigeria, we call money kudi, owo, ego, anyone you like. Those are the names of money we are used to in Nigeria. So it's a concept that is as old as mankind since time immemorial. Money has always been in existence. Sometimes it's the naira notes that we talk of, or dollar note or pound note, and other times is a means of exchange. So it's been in existence from the era of trade by barter to coins. Olajumoke is laughing. To coins and money paper, up till the current emergence of now we have it 21st century. We are doing electronic payments, cryptocurrency, so we can have it both virtually and hard copy money. Its relevance transcends time and will persist for as long as humanity exists. So that is something that is not negotiable. There will always be money in the equation. So you see the lovely picture there of plenty 1,000 naira notes. Oh, I wish we could just have this right now. Okay, money can be referred to as anything that is generally acceptable as a medium of exchange. So I'm giving you this for that. So it's basically, I have this and I want that from you. Okay, it is also widely accepted as the key determinant or measurement of wealth. So we say, oh, Dangote is very rich. Why? What are we using to gauge his wealth? Kudi, owo, ego. There are three basic functions of money. One is the medium of exchange. Money is used as a medium of exchange. It's a unit of account and a store of value. And next, as a store of value. So this is the ability of money to be a medium of retaining value over a period of time. So for example, you see most wealthy people would say, instead of keeping the money in my bank, I'd rather buy a house in Abuja. I'd rather buy a house in Lagos. I'd rather buy a house in Dubai or at the UK. Why? Because they want to store the value of that money. Because the truth is, there's a saying that I say that I have that money in the bank is worth nothing. And that's the truth. Like you can see our dollar value is dropping and falling as free fall as ever. So if you have money in your account, the value of 1,000 naira now, the things that we can go to the market to buy with 1,000 naira, as at last year, we can't do that this year. So I'll give an example. All of us drink water. I will give an example with pure water. I'm not sure how much is sold right now, but last year, how much was it? This year, how much is it? So you see the value of money drops. So in order to store the value, you can just lock it in as an asset, buy a house, buy some sort of fixed asset that will keep appreciating over time. Now we've understood what money is. Now we want to ask ourselves, what is money management? How do we manage money? Money management is the process of tracking expenses, investing, planning, and saving funds. It is very essential as it aids your ability to invest, to save, to realize seemingly impossible financial goals. So poor money management can result in a cycle of debts. Debts, as we call it in Nigeria, gbese. Onigbese is on top of your head. You can't run away from it. So if you don't manage money properly, you're going to run into debts. Some simple steps to building a better personal money management culture includes: one, create a realistic monthly budget. So this is an advice I'll give to us as young ladies. Please ensure that if you're working, if you're still getting money, most of your students, you're still getting money from your parents, from your relatives, from friends, or you're working, or as we call it, you have a side hustle. Please always ensure that you make a budget every month. The budget for this month might be different from next month because you have priorities, you have pressing needs, and some things you're able to achieve will not be repeated next month. They are not recurrent expenditures for you. They are one-off. So always have a realistic monthly budget. And I also advise you, please don't make budgets that will weigh you down and that you cannot achieve. So if you know your income on a monthly basis is, for example, 10,000 naira, please don't write a monthly budget that is 50,000. So another reason why I would say that is don't give yourself a heart attack Don't put yourself under pressure. So I'll explain the difference between your needs and your wants. So your needs are those essentials. For example, your needs could include your rent, your water bill, your money for soap, or your sanitary towels as young ladies. But your wants are, oh, I want makeup. I want to buy a lipstick. I want to buy a ring, just a fancy ring I'll put on my hand. Wants are things that you can do without, but that will still give you joy. So you have to find a way to balance your needs, which are your essentials, and your wants. Not buy anything way big past the money where you get, as we will say in Nigeria. Good money management begins with monitoring your expenses in line with your monthly budget. Okay, so other money management tips are to build your savings. So if you see the picture we have there, do we know what this is? If you know what this is, could you please type in the chat box? Okay, responses in Hausa. Okay. Okay, thank you. So I got some responses. So we all know what this is, or most of us do. For those of us that do not know, this is a local form of a colo. They call it colo. They call it ajo. But this in English is called piggy bank. But this is the Nigerian local version of a piggy bank. So build up your savings. Create an emergency fund that you could access in case of unforeseen circumstances. It will prove handy and curb the need to borrow, to take loans, or being unable to meet such critical needs. This can be achieved through periodic contributions. So periodic contributions, some of us may know it as ajo or esusu or piggy bank, which is, now we have a version of an online piggy bank, or you can also use this colo. However, if you are using this colo, I would advise that you don't keep it in a moist place, as this is currently raining season and the money may come out and being dusty and all of that. So this is a colo. For example, there are many that they send to the bank accounts, your bank, and they tell you that, oh, you can take a loan, you're eligible to take a loan up to 20,000 naira, up to 50,000 naira, interest free. It's not true. Most of them are not, and there are penalties attached to that, which will only increase your anxiety and increase the rate of interest that you pay and your repayment period. Management tips also include cutting down on non-essential expenses. So for example, on social media in Nigeria, we can call it lao spending, where you spend and you're just enjoying yourself, free fall. So this focuses on reviewing, going to the movies, getting a music app subscription. However, you can reduce them by, instead of going to the movies that could cost you 5,000 naira for just one movie, you could go on Netflix. So if you buy like Netflix of 3,000 naira that could last you for a full month. So investing, there are different types of investment options available, but I would advise that please you do your due diligence before you invest in anything, so that your money doesn't get missing like MMM. No, okay. So let me explain the 50-30-20 rule. So the 50-30-20 rule is an easy and simple monthly budgeting process that shows an individual how much is to be saved relative to her monthly income or expense. It was originated from the book All Your Worth by Elizabeth Warren and Amelia Warren Yaji. This rule encourages savings by breaking down your income into categories to avoid overspending. So the basics of the rule is to delineate one's monthly income into 3 major points. So the 50-30-20 rule is you spend 50% on your needs, 30% on your wants, and 20% on saving or paying up a debt. I would advise you, if you have a debt currently and you're paying, you do not need to save at the same time. The only time you can save and pay a debt at the same time is if you really do have more than enough money that it will be convenient for you. If not, it could be a financial stress and burden to save and pay debt at the same time. I'm going to explain what the 50-30-20 rule is. So 50% on your needs. These are unavoidable and essential expenses. Half of one's monthly income should cover these necessary costs, which may include your needs, your rent, your electricity, water bill. So as a student, it could be if you have to buy handouts, That could be part of your needs at this moment. So your needs are going to vary based on your level at the moment. Right now, you may or may not be the one paying your rent. So a rent may not be a need, but you need to categorize what are your needs, what are your wants, and what are your savings. Sajida says your data as well. Okay, so your needs are your needs are your data. That's wonderful. Yes. So at this level, your needs are your data. Thank you, Sajida. So 30% on your wants. These fall under the category of non-essentials. These are things that you could actually do without to a large extent, and they are desirables. For example, clothes. Now, I'm not saying that you should not buy clothes at all, but the level of clothes or the quality of clothes that you buy is where we come into, are they needs or are they wants? Going on a vacation is very, very important. But where are you going? Are you going to Seychelles or are you going to Lekki, the beach for a vacation? Now, concerts and going on dates. We are young women, we will go on dates. So your wants are actually part of it, dates. So to reduce this, you can buy thrift clothes. In Nigeria, we also call them bend down select clothes or krika. For example, we could all go to the same place. At this level, I would not say go buy a Gucci or any other major brand. But if you go to, for example, you go to Okrika, you buy a shirt of maybe, for example, 2,000 naira, you wash it, you dry it, you clean it, and you wear it. Nobody's going to know you bought it from there. So we don't need to compete with people on social media. We don't need to compete with peers. We don't need to judge our standard with theirs. You need to focus on where you're going to. What does your future hold and how are you going to achieve that? So instead of spending all your money, your 50% of your money on buying a lot of clothes that are really very expensive, more than your monthly income, you could curtail them and buy thrift clothes that are very nice and suit your personality. 20% on savings. This is the part of one's income that should be kept aside. Consistently doing this can add up to big money at the end of every year. So if you start and say, okay, I'm starting right now, that from the month of September, we are the first day of September, which is really a perfect time. So at the month of September, at the end of every month, from my pocket money I get from my parents, or from my job that I do by the side, or by my side hustle, I'm going to be saving 20% on a monthly basis. By the time you get to 1 year, next year, August, you'll be amazed at how much you've been able to save. Next slide, please. How to apply the 50, 30, 20 rule. First, calculate your monthly income. Be sure of how much you're getting. If you're getting from different sources, side hustle, parents, friends, relatives, or you're working. Ensure you know what your monthly income is. 2, categorize your spending for the past month. That is, in the month of August, could you take a barrel and a pen and a paper and write down what your spending was for last month? So you're holding yourself accountable. So you know what those things are that are your recurrent expenditure and those things that were one-off, so that you can know how to budget for the month of September. Lastly, you review your spending to meet the 50, 30, 20 rule. I will not assure you that you would be able to stick to it on the first month, but consistently, right? They say consistently, by the time you have started a process over and over again, then you would now imbibe the culture of being able to follow the 50, 30, 20 rule. A want is not extravagance. That is wahala no dey ever finish, but is a basic necessity that allows life to be enjoyed. So this graph just shows, this picture just shows, if your income is 100,000, so we are doing an assumption, we have an assumption here. If your income is 100,000, the rule will apply as follow. 50% will be on your needs, which is 50,000 naira from your income of 100,000 naira will be spent on your needs. 30,000 will be spent on your wants, and 20,000 naira will be spent on your savings or repayments of your debt. So we need to start to plan for our short-term goals, 2 years, 3 years. Where do you see yourself? You know, they say the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. Little drops of water makes the ocean. So I have some suggested further readings. I got up some books that if you could check online, you could be able to buy them or your local bookstore. The first 2 are by Nigerians, so they'll be readily available. You could get any of these books from the local bookstore or online to be able to help you further harness your money management skills. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Eghosa, we love you. We thank you, and we hope that we would get back to you with more questions. As women, we have lots of questions when it comes to money, so I'm sure we'll try to reach you individually.
No
Yeah.
problem.
So thank you for being here with us today.